Hey, you guys! Alright, so I've had my cup of coffee finally. No thanks to Officer Mosley, I had to brew my own for the chocolate cake recipe, and I had a cup left. This is why Officer Mosley makes the coffee in the morning and not Miss Rice, because Miss Rice's coffee was really, really strong. Not mad about it, but I might be up until all hours of the night. Um, some good coffee though. So I am going to teach you how to make a super simple buttercream frosting for your cupcakes and the cake. I'm going to actually do two different kinds because they're real similar. So we're going to do a vanilla buttercream and we are going to do a chocolate buttercream. I love my vanilla buttercream. People always tell me it tastes like Bluebell homemade vanilla ice cream. I don't know. It just tastes like sugar and happiness to me. So we're gonna roll with that first because then I can add in the chocolate and then I don't have to switch bowls and whatnot. Um, Also, y'all, ate a biscuit from my biscuits I made earlier on my other video. So good. And you might be thinking, wait, didn't she say in the cake video that somebody was bringing her lunch? Yes, they did. They brought me tacos from a place in Pittsburgh that I don't remember the name of. They were stinking amazing. Just some street tacos. So good. So that was lunch. Biscuit was dessert. Um, ain't ashamed. Look, girl's gonna eat. Y'all know this. Anywho, the biscuits were so good. So I really hope you try those recipes, that biscuit recipe. Okay, so back to the buttercream. I feel like I just chased a squirrel. Real sorry about that. Buttercream frosting. My vanilla buttercream frosting, 4 ingredients. Butter. I'm going to use 2 sticks here. Powdered sugar. Vanilla. Shocking, I know, in a vanilla buttercream. And heavy whipping cream. Okay, if you don't have heavy whipping cream, regular milk will work. Even water if you're in a bind, but you kind of want something creamy. I love the heavy whipping cream because of the texture it gives it. It obviously fluffs it up. Hence the whipping cream part of heavy whipping cream, right? You incorporate air into your heavy whipping cream, and that's where your whipped cream comes from. But this just adds a little bit of fluffiness to our buttercream to where it's not so dense, and it's easier to pipe. And I'm pretty sure I've said 8,000 times already in this 2.5 minute little span, but it's okay. Okay, so you want your butter to be room temp. I always have butter sitting out on my cabinet, and I know it freaks some people out. It's fine. It's fine. So I have my butter at room temperature. I added a stick in already. I'm adding a second stick of butter. And then I'm going to add 4 cups of powdered sugar. So if you have a 2-pound bag of powdered sugar, it has 8 cups of powdered sugar in that 2 pounds. I eyeball it. Again, this is why I'm a better cook than baker, because I'm not real good at measuring. I don't usually take the time, and I'm real sorry for that for those of you who are very exact people. 4 cups to 2 sticks of butter. So half the bag if you want to eyeball it. You can always adjust the texture of your buttercream. So this is why I don't really worry about measuring it out, because I usually do a taste test and like have to try it and check it out before, and make adjustments as I go. This is also how I cook. Like, I feel like you should always taste at every step to make sure. And I feel like every step of cooking a recipe is a chance to add in flavor so that you have layers of flavor, right? Because flavors develop differently over time. Mind you, I have no formal training. So if I say something that's dumb, I don't even care. Like, it's just what I found that works for me in my restaurant experience and my catering experience and my kitchen experience. I love to cook and I feel like I know it tastes good, but I don't know all the technical. I'm not necessarily like hung up on all the technical terms or terminology and whatnot. So you want to, okay, back to our buttercream. Y'all chasing squirrels this afternoon. Must have been the biscuit. Buttercream. So I've got my 4 cups of powdered sugar. I've got my 2 sticks of butter, and I'm going to turn this on very, very low, because otherwise you will look like you have done illegal drugs and you wasted them and they will be everywhere. Don't do drugs, kids. Powdered sugar. That's what you're doing. Oh. So it turns out that it helps if you plug the mixer in. Wait a sec. Really rocking and rolling on this one. There we go. Okay, so while this is stirring on low, we need a little bit of liquid. It will pick up the powdered sugar, the butter will, and it will go, but it helps if there's a little bit of liquid in there. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of vanilla. Again, I'm going to start with a tablespoon. I love the vanilla flavoring, or the flavor of vanilla. So I'm going to add about a tablespoon to start with. This is a lie. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons. My vanilla buttercream is not white because I put that much vanilla in it, and I'm okay with that. You can buy clear vanilla if you have something specifically that you need a white frosting for. Y'all went and got my heavy cream. What did I do with it? Alright, so I'm going to add in just, had to go chase it down. Going to add in just a splash. And now I'm going to pick it up. So, this is what we're doing here. You want to work that air in there so that it's nice and fluffy and that cream gets a chance to do its thing and fluff. Alright, so I'm going to grab a spoon real fast and see if this tastes okay or what I need to do to adjust. So. It needs more powdered sugar. So I'm going to add a little more powdered sugar. I'm also going to add some more vanilla because, again, I like that flavor. My consistency is a little thin, so this will thicken it up. Obviously, vanilla is going to thin it out a little more, but it just kind of needs another little hit of it. So, again, start off slow when you add in anything so that it doesn't go wild on you and make a mess in your kitchen. Clean spoon. Okay, used a clean one. No worries. Okay, that's it. Like, we hit it good there. And now I'm going to show you how to make a chocolate buttercream. Let me come back to you. I'm going to pause you for a sec, but I'm going to put this in a bowl, and then we're going to knock out our chocolate buttercream. Okay, so we're going to chalk that up to a moment that Reagan wasn't thinking. So instead of putting it into a bowl like I just did, I should have just put it in the piping bag. Whoa. Almost tripped over my stool. Okay, so I just have a plastic piping bag. If you don't have piping bags, don't go to the store to get piping bags, y'all. Not right now. Grab a Ziploc baggie and cut the corner off. You don't even have to have a tip. I do have a piping tip handy, so I'm going to use it. This is a 1M Wilton piping tip, right? Just an open start. It's kind of hard to see. There we go against the light. You can see it a little better. So just an open tip start. You can use whatever piping tip you have. None of them have to be, you know, they don't all have to be the same. So what I'm going to do is I cut the tip off the piping bag. Let me show you what I did. So I cut the tip off the piping bag just about that far because this is a wider tip. And then you're just gonna drop it in there. I like to use a tall cup. I've got this one on hand right here, so this is what I'm gonna use. But if you put your piping bag in a cup and then fold your edges over it, it makes it easier to get your frosting in. I don't remember who taught me this trick, but it's definitely one of the more useful ones that someone has shared with me. Cake decorating, things like that, not really my specialty. I do enjoy it. I can make them taste good, but they don't necessarily look great. We have a lot of really good bakers in our area, and so usually I just defer customers to them when they want a cake. But anyway, this is a tip that I use or a trick that I use frequently. So then it keeps your edges clean on your piping bag, and you can just unfold it right here around the edge, shake it down, and there you go. So I don't really clip mine off either when I use it. I'm gonna squeeze this down, but I just grip at the top and twist. This is a really big piping bag also, by the way, but so I just twist like this, and then I'll pipe my cupcakes here in a minute. But I'm gonna show you the chocolate buttercream first real quick. So very similar, chocolate buttercream is very similar to our vanilla buttercream, with the exception of adding cocoa powder. So no great shock there. But again, I'm gonna start with 2 sticks of butter. I'm getting all twisted. 2 sticks of butter. I'm gonna add, I've got about 3 cups left in this bag, which is perfect after my vanilla buttercream. So I'm gonna add the rest of this bag of powdered sugar. Again, about 3 cups. Oh man, missed the bowl. Okay. In case y'all were wondering, this is also how I rolled my ankle earlier, or in December. Like literally can't walk and talk at the same time, and I fell down some stairs. But I tried to look up at the camera and just dumped that whole bag out there. So, you know, a struggle. Yeah, it's a struggle. But, okay, so I've got my butter, I've got my powdered sugar, and then I'm gonna add in a cup of cocoa powder. All right, again, slow roll this when you turn it on. Nobody likes a nostril full of cocoa powder. It is not a pleasant experience. Also, if you have a shield, this is a good time to use it. I'm gonna dump in, while that's going, I'm gonna dump in a tablespoon of vanilla. And I'm gonna dump in about a tablespoon of cold coffee that I have left. Just a little. Again, the coffee just kind of enhances the flavor of the chocolate. And then I'm going to add a splash of my heavy cream just to kind of build that up and get it fluffy. In case you were wondering, yes, I also just spilled coffee on the other side of my mixer. That was a lot of shaking. I'm sorry. Cameraman for hire, anyone? So let me wipe this off. Okay, so I can tell before I even check it that it's super, super thick. So I'm gonna add a little more coffee and a little more heavy cream to that. And just kind of thin it out a little bit. Coffee pot is like super hard to pour. gosh, this could end badly. Let me not do dumb things. Okay, so that's about another tablespoon of coffee there. All right, so you can kind of hear how it loosened up, and then that's what it's looking like while it's going. But I can tell by that that's where the consistency I want. So let's check it out, see if it's sweet enough. I sometimes don't like a super sweet chocolate frosting. I prefer it to be a little on the bitter side. So this is your frosting. You add what you want to it. It needs more powdered sugar, go for it. Nope. I'm gonna add maybe a half a cup more of powdered sugar. That's pretty good. Should have just added the rest of this bag. Knew it. There we go. Okay, so there is our buttercream, chocolate buttercream. That's real good. Nicely done. Nicely done. Okay, as I congratulate myself, yes, y'all's will be good too. Okay, so let me show you real quick how we're gonna do these cupcakes. I'm gonna flip you around this way because it's easier to see with the sun. Okay, so I'm gonna do a dozen frosted in vanilla buttercream, and then I'm gonna do a dozen frosted in the chocolate. Now, I just cooled these off really quickly in the freezer, which is not ideal, but it didn't really hurt anything. It's really easy. These cupcakes, by the way, these chocolate cupcakes freeze amazingly well. They stay really moist and don't ever dry out. Throw them in a Ziploc baggie, they'll hold for a couple months in the freezer. Okay. So here is what we're gonna do. I'm just gonna separate these. Okay, so again, you want your piping bag, grab it, twist it at the top. There are clips, you can use a rubber band. If you feel like if you're not gonna be able to hang on to it, then definitely use something to tie it off so all of your buttercream doesn't squirt to the top. But twist it, okay? Just a simple twist like you're twisting your bread bag. And then the way you're gonna do this, you're gonna grip up top and you're gonna grip down here at the bottom toward the nozzle or toward the tip. And so you're going to apply pressure with this hand, okay, with your dominant hand here that you're holding. If you're a lefty, this would be opposite. I look like I got a really bad golfer's game right now. So like this, okay, and then this is your guide hand. This is your pressure hand. So we're just gonna start. Let me see if I can zoom you up closer. I hope somebody's really just having some sympathy right now and wants to come be my camera person next week. From 6 feet away, of course. So I start in the middle, start in the center of my cupcake. Everybody has a slightly different technique. You just got to kind of roll with what works for you. But you squeeze at the top, and then I'm just going to guide this hand around. Just do a little swirl tip like this. Okay, and we're gonna rock and roll on the rest of these. You're gonna go slow and kind of build up. I leave the edges of mine empty just so they don't bump into each other and mess up the design unless I have to. There's some really cool tips that you can do some really cool designs with. They're called Russian piping tips. Might be something fun to do next week. I am going to leave some of these cupcakes for our food service people who are dropping off meals to our students every week. and then I just got that on my arm. And then I'm gonna go drop some off for our tech department and some to our office staff, because those guys have really been in the trenches this week. They've been the front line for all of the questions, for all of the answers, for that matter, helping staff, helping students. So this is just a good way to say thank you to them. And then my boys saw that I was doing cupcakes, and they were like, you better bring us some home. So I'll take a few to my family. All right, so just like that, pretty quick, pretty simple. It does take practice. I've piped a lot of cupcakes, and so I understand that it may be a little difficult, and they may not look like that, and that's fine. They'll still eat. All right, so that's all I've got for today. I hope y'all enjoyed. Again, I would love to see your creations. I'd love to see what you did. If you wanted to add sprinkles to your cupcakes, now would be a good time while this frosting is still a little soft before it sets up. Ooh, I got cocoa everywhere. But anyway, I hope y'all are having a good day. Let me hear something back from you.